Blackburn Rovers began the new season in the same way they'd left off the old one, winning. There had been, surprisingly, for a man of Kenny Dalglish's spending power, little activity on the transfer front, and Alan Shearer's knee injury was still on the mend, so it was a familiar lineup for the opening fixture at Stamford Bridge. A hot August afternoon in Chelsea saw a goalless first half, but 3 minutes into the second, one of Chelsea's big summer signings, Gavin Peacock, put the home side one up with a header Bobby Mims got a hand to but couldn't keep out. Rovers rallied and went close on a couple of occasions. They drew level courtesy of a long ball from Graham Lasseau, which was swept home by Stuart Ripley. A memorable moment for the former Chelsea player, who was given a reception to match the weather by the Stamford Bridge fans. The day was complete for Rovers on 78 minutes, when the Russian keeper, Dmitry Karin, could only palm the ball out to Mike Newell, and he made no mistake from close range. Rovers' first game at Ewood Park promised much, for who could forget the visit of Norwich City the season before and a memorable 7-1 scoreline. Things started promisingly enough with Mark Atkins opening his account, but it wasn't to be Blackburn's night, as the Canaries, oozing confidence, rattled in 3 goals. Jason Wilcox pulled one back, but Norwich ran out comfortable winners. The brightest moment on the Ewood horizon that night, the sight of Alan Shearer coming off the subs bench to a tremendous reception as Kenny Dalglish gently eased his star striker back into the frame. Next at Ewood, the perennial relegation fighters of Oldham. The game won by a typical Kevin Moran intervention with his battle-scarred forehead. Not the best of matches, but 3 useful points. At Main Road, Manchester City were in trouble. Could Blackburn take advantage? They certainly could. With Newell and Gallagher working tirelessly up front, it wasn't long before Rovers went ahead. Mike Newell headed in powerfully in the first half, and Rovers were totally in control. A glorious Ripley through ball set Kevin Gallagher up for the second. Rovers could even afford the luxury of a missed Mike Newell penalty. The points were much more important now. The last match in August meant a trip home for Alan Shearer, with the Geordie-born striker desperate to be given a full outing, but he had to be content with a place on the bench. Kenny Dalglish opted for caution. And Shearer returned to the ground where he stood as a young boy, with admiration for his boyhood hero, now Newcastle manager Kevin Keegan. Few chances in the first half. The game burst into life in the second, and in front of a passionate crowd, Andy Cole was doing for Newcastle what Shearer had done for Blackburn. It was Cole that put the Magpies ahead with a typical goal. Rovers' hopes were lifted when Shearer, who had been pacing the touchline, was released into the action 3/4 of the way through the game. The inevitable didn't take long in coming. Tim Sherwood put the ball through, and Shearer, with a show of control and a finish, announced that he was back.
The one that more stands out in my mind is the game that the first goal I scored this season was when I came on as sub against Newcastle. It was a big thing for me. I'd been out injured for 9 months, and to come on at Newcastle in front of the friends and family and score a goal was great for me.
And got us back into the game, obviously, didn't it? Good
yeah, we were getting beat 1-0, and Mr. Sherwood there put a great pass through, and
what was it mean?
Luckily enough, it hit the back of the net.
Yeah. Can you run us through that pass, Tim?
He made it easy for me, really. I got the ball and the run was just there, just floated over the top, and the rest was history, really.
Here's Shearer. Alan Shearer for Blackburn. He's back, and he's done it!
So, at the end of August, Manchester United led the Premiership with 13 points. Blackburn Rovers were in 6th place on 10 points. next to visit Ewood Park, the mighty Arsenal, winners of the FA Cup and the Coca-Cola Cup. No doubt the Londoners wanted to rectify Rovers' double over them the season before. Rovers again opted for caution, still no place in the starting lineup for Alan Shearer. The Gunners came in a determined mood, and with both defences on top, there were few chances. Rovers went ahead before half-time when Kevin Gallagher notched his second goal of the season. Arsenal applied more pressure in the second half. Kevin Campbell struck, and that sent the Londoners home with a point. To Liverpool and to Anfield, and Rovers were aiming to stretch their unbeaten away record. They were boosted by the signing of Paul Warhurst from Sheffield Wednesday for £2.7 million, and he came close to scoring in the first 45 minutes. Where would he play was the question Rovers fans were asking. The answer was midfield. And having come very close to getting on the end of that Kevin Gallagher cross, in the first half he was impressive, along with the entire Blackburn team, and Jason Wilcox also went close. Blackburn came forward throughout the match, and after 54 minutes Tim Sherwood hit a drive which Bruce Grobbelaar turned over for a corner. The pressure was on, and from the kick, when the ball came to the far post, Mike Newell, almost off balance, scored the only goal of the game and secured a magnificent victory for Blackburn Rovers. Delight for Kenny Dalglish. But then a setback. Lee Chapman had joined West Ham, and from Liverpool David Burrows had joined the club, and so had Mike Marsh. The apple cart was about to be upset, despite the fact that Blackburn had started well. Paul Warhurst put in a drive which Ludo McGlasgow did well to save. 10 minutes before half-time, a confident West Ham took the lead. The communication breakdown between Henning Berg and Bobby Mims allowed Chapman in to score a debut goal. Alan Shearer was introduced as Blackburn fought for an equaliser, but they were frustrated, Mike Newell in particular, although McGlasgow's goalkeeping was a vital factor. Victory for West Ham was secured with 20 minutes to go. Trevor Morley's header on the day conquered Rovers. The next home match, the Coca-Cola Cup tie against Bournemouth, was significant, not only for the 1-0 victory, it marked the moment everyone had been waiting for, a full game for Alan Shearer. And guess who got the goal? Back in the Premiership, and Trevor Francis and his men provided the opposition at Ewood Park. And there was an early chance for Paul Warhurst to put one over on his old teammates. And he nearly did just that when he hammered in a shot which hit the post. Another chance came his way when the ball came right across the goal line, but somehow managed to squirm under his foot and away to safety. Rovers regretted the missed chances when Graham Hyde rifled Sheffield Wednesday into the lead. It was left to Alan Shearer to get them level, showing his true striker's instinct when he hammered the ball past Chris Woods.
Alan Shearer is back. Official.
Dropping points at Ewood Park was Rovers' only concern. If home results had matched those achieved away from Ewood Park, there's no doubt Manchester United would have had company at the top of the Premiership table. At the end of September, Blackburn Rovers were 8 points adrift of the champions. The first game in October saw Rovers travelling to the bottom side in the Premiership, newcomers Swindon Town. With Alan Shearer back in the swim, Rovers carried much more of a threat and comfortably brushed aside the Wiltshire club. The game was marred though by a serious injury to Paul Warhurst, who suffered a broken leg as he tried to break into the penalty area. A sad moment, no one likes seeing stretchers on football fields.
Swindon Town at the bottom without a league win yet. Finding life in the Premiership very tough, no more so than this afternoon. Corner from the right. Flighted to the far post. Blackburn struggling to defend that one. It's gone in. Goal for Swindon. Now May, as he picks out Shearer. Shearer will leave it there for Wilcox, who hits a stinging shot. And a chance for Gallagher to run. Kevin Gallagher back onto his right foot. What a run! Saved the first time by Digby. And Gallagher, that was almost a terrific goal. The Swindon keeper made that important stop. With a good block. But he just waltzed through the defenders, toying with them. Great run by Gallagher, but unrewarded. Blackburn still searching for that elusive second. And here's Shearer. And Shearer hits a shot and a great save by the keeper. Well, a terrific double save there. First Gallagher, second Shearer. And he's kept Swindon in the game. Ripley. Cuts in field. Nice little ball there again. Now Shearer. Shearer gets a ricochet off the cross. Ripley squeezes it in. Blackburn go ahead. The deserved goal they've been looking for. They've been searching for some time. Look at the relief on Shearer, who played the through ball. Got a deflection, which made it more difficult really for Ripley, but he squeezed it in beautifully. Blackburn 2-1. V Swindon. Sherwood, nice little pass. Shearer out to Ripley. Rovers overflowing with confidence now. Ripley looks for the telling cross. Shearer's in there, nodding it down well. Gallagher tried to hit the stinger. There's Ripley again. Got that poise about him. Left foot shots. That wasn't a bad effort. Stuart Ripley, good tackle. And a chance here for Alan Shearer. Just pauses a little bit, holds up play now, plays a quality ball through. Chances, oh, side netting. Side netting, and Blackburn were staring 3-1 ahead in the face there. Shearer's ball, sheer quality. And side netting. Wilcox. Lovely ball on the left tunnel. Shearer's away. Shearer must score. Shearer takes it round them all and rolls it in. And the mark of quality from one of the top strikers around shines through again for Rovers. This man has a phenomenal strike rate. And that was strength, it was quality, it was sheer willpower to score goals. And Digby denied him once, he wasn't going to let him get a second chance. 3-1 to Blackburn.